Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming back. We're looking forward to sharing some more information. This is our second video this week. There's just way too much information to share. We now have the August 2024 real estate sales stats to share with you. So, Jay, you're here again. How about you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the real estate sales here in Edmonton?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, Josh. Here we are. We're already in September. Can you believe it? We're in the last quarter of 2024. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here going into the last quarter. But for now, let's just talk about August. What happened? The weather was amazing, but what was the real estate market like? So the first thing we like to talk about, of course, is our inventory. As you can see here, actually, we lost some inventory. So we're down about 7% overall from July. You can kind of see since June, this has been what's happening, right? Like we've just been chipping away and there's less and less inventory coming onto the market. But what does that mean for our sales? So what happened to our sales number? Guess what? We're actually down. Down a considerable amount too. Actually, we're almost 12% in August for sales. And so that there is something very interesting. You know, from July, we popped up a bit from June. June was down from May. So we can kind of see, you know, is this trend happening or are we cycling back to kind of a normal market here as we used to see maybe pre-COVID, right? And maybe are things starting to normalize?
Right now, what I'm seeing here is the number of homes available to buy are going down. The number of homes being purchased have gone down.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a bit of a normalization, but also, you know, that traditional spring market, people want to buy homes and get moved into them before the school year starts. So it is kind of common for that to happen in August or July after the April, May, and June months have happened. So it's not necessarily something to be concerned about.
No, the one thing I noticed and we have noticed too is like the back to school rush was different this year and it wasn't as exaggerated as the past few years. So it will be interesting to watch what happens here as we go forward. I do think this rate announcements and maybe the rate has put a lot of buyers on the fence, right? Yeah.
Perhaps, but
Yeah.
you know, we're still up significantly on the number of sales this year compared to last year.
Yeah.
So even though it's slowing down a little bit, you know, we can't just look month to month. Let's talk about that, right?
Right. Yeah. So year to date, right, up 15.8% versus August of last year. So it's still, you know, it is a big change year over year. I don't even know what the right answer is, but I think we're going to look back and find everything normalizing out. Is exactly what's going to happen to us here as we carry on. Day on market is something else that we like to talk about, and we'll look at them. You know, we're up a little bit from July, but you know what? Compared to August of last year, we've lost 10 days. So homes are still selling quickly, right? Relatively. Semi-detached homes were up 3 from July, but still down like 12 days. And so we're kind of seeing that row houses the same August, July, no change, but year over year, still down significant amounts. Apartment condos, we actually lost 2 day on market from July to August, and another big significant change year over year. Still, you know, it's a pretty healthy and a good spot to buy. Still seems okay, right? Rate of change in the prices. We like to talk about median prices around here. We can have a couple things with averages that'll sway the numbers aggressively. So median is a great picture for us. Year over year, like we talked about, 10.4% for detached. Semi-detached still 11.6. These row houses have been the darling of investors here this last year, 17 and almost 0.5%. Like that's incredible, right? And then apartment condos are still up 5.6% year over year. We'll keep our eye on the month-to-month over numbers here as we're carrying on to the last quarter and see what's going on. They are minimal increases as we've seen, you know, detached and apartment condos. We've lost a little bit of steam here.
But, you know, losing that steam or even gaining that steam when we're talking less than 1% or around 1% in actual dollars, it's not a big number. So
no,
let's see what that was over the last several months for each property type in actual dollars. I think that has a little bit more meaning than plus 0.6 or minus 0.2, right?
Exactly. And if you look, right, like these numbers are like 495, 500, 495, 500, 497, right? So we're talking about $3,000 to $5,000 swings in the greater Edmonton area in detached house prices for August 2024 from April to now. It'd be very interesting to see what happens September going forward, right? But I kind of think this is going to be what we're going to see here for the rest of the year, depending on
Yeah,
what happens with our rates.
and quite often we do see a slowdown in the number of sales, often a softening in prices into the fall.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like with the interest rate drops that we've been seeing, we're not going to see the typical increase in interest rates in the fall. And so we might just see a fairly level or flat home price. That would be my guess. But hey, I'm a mortgage broker, not a real estate agent, and I don't have a crystal ball. So I guess we'll see over the coming months, eh?
Yeah, I think we're going to just be supported, right? So I do actually totally agree with you, and it will be exciting to see what happens here. So the next thing we like to talk about is semi-detached home. Here we see this, right? Same thing, kind of a $10,000 to $13,000 change, but really it's interesting, isn't it? How it's like, 400 to 410, then we held even, lost 5, right? And then we gained another, what is that, 8? So they're not aggressive swings. They're still kind of bouncing along here. Semi-detached, 413,000 where they came in from for August 2024 for sure. So we're not complaining about that one at all.
Yeah, you could almost, instead of calling them swings, just call them like little waves, ripples in the water.
Yeah.
Right? Little up and down, not too aggressive at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Townhouses, same thing, right? Really $5,000 swings here. And here we are, 290K. So it's interesting, right? When we're watching these little changes, nothing too scary for buyers and not really an unknown for sellers here right now either. We're just kind of waiting to see. I do know though, like if you're mispricing your property now as a seller, you're not selling. So they will hang out. Buyers are being patient, and buyers are recognizing this now. And so they're watching, they're being patient, they're waiting for the right deal for sure. So
okay. So if you're a seller, super important to price it properly. You're not just going to be able to get an astronomical number, but if it's priced properly, you can expect it to go pretty quick.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. As we've seen on that day in market, it's a good day on market. So apartments, same thing, 190K for August 2024. And so we're just kind of more of what we've seen, right? So now as we're going forward here, it's going to be very interesting to watch for this last quarter. I'm excited to see what happens because the news is we're going to see a couple more drops, right? And so that's going to help our buyers with their affordability. And so now it'll be interesting to see how we compare to, year over year, what's happening to our market and where our price is going.
Amazing. Hey, Jay, thanks for sharing that information. And I think you are right. As we see some downward movement in the interest rates, that will probably help keep the market steady and stable. Even after yesterday's Bank of Canada rate announcement, we saw a downward movement in the bond yields, which helps price the fixed rates as well. So there's a decent chance if those hold on, we're going to see some further decrease in the fixed interest rate for mortgages as well over the coming weeks or months.
Right.
So there we've got it. That is the Edmonton real estate stats for August 2024. If you like what you're seeing here, make sure you hit that bell, subscribe to our page to get these updates. We are posting videos every single week, and I guess sometimes 2 of them in the same week. Yeah. We look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday of next week. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.